Hi folks, Hugo Rivera here with HugoRivera.net, bringing you another episode where I cover one fitness and bodybuilding topic, and then I'll go ahead and be open to answering some questions. And today the key topic is, do you need to get fat in order to gain muscle? Because obviously there's still the myth out there that if you're looking to bulk up, okay, you need to eat as much as humanly possible. You get to eat whatever the heck you want to eat, and you'll go ahead and gain some muscle that way. All right. Here's the deal. While it is true that you need to create a caloric surplus in order for you to go ahead and build muscle, okay? If you just want to build muscle exclusively, let's say that you don't want to lose any fat, you want to build muscle exclusively, then you need to go ahead and create a slight caloric surplus to be able to just fuel muscle growth, right? However, it doesn't give you a license to eat whatever you want, because if you do, what's going to happen is that you're just simply going to be gaining tons of body fat, all right? And I'll go ahead and explain to you how is it that I do my bulking up and how I help my clients with this process as well, okay? Here's the deal. First and foremost, if a guy is not at 10% body fat, or if it is a woman who is above 14% body fat, I'll have those clients lose body fat first, okay? Here's the deal. If you're hovering above 10% body fat for a guy or 14% body fat for a female, if you start just doing an exclusive muscle gain phase where you're just hitting a caloric surplus, your probability of gaining fat is much higher. And the reason for that is because your fat storage is bigger, and as a result, your body will go ahead and produce more estrogen, okay? So the key thing to avoid this is to lower the body fat stores, so in that manner, your testosterone levels are optimized and your estrogen levels are minimized. In that manner, when you go ahead and put in that calorie surplus, then the calorie surplus will go mostly towards muscle building as opposed to fat gain, okay? I have some other techniques too that I'm going to discuss over here to avoid the fat gain during an exclusive muscle building program, okay? But suffice it to say, the first thing I do is that I take the clients down in body fat level. How I do this is that I create a diet where I have 40% carbs, 40% proteins, and 20% fats, okay? That's what I call the baseline diet. And then if I'm losing body fat, what I'll do is that I'll go ahead and feed a little bit more carbs on the days that they go ahead and train. So basically, on the days that they're training, I may do a 40-40-20 diet, and then on the days that they're not training, I may go ahead and lower the carbs slightly, simply because you're not burning as many carbohydrates on days that you're not training, right? So I'll go ahead and do that for a few weeks, and then I'll get the males below 10% body fat, and I'll get the women at 14 or below. Then once I reach that level, I'll go ahead and then I'll be happy to switch and up the carbs a little bit more on the days of training. I may leave the carbs low on non-training days, okay? And see how the person responds, and based on the response, I'll just go ahead and adjust the carbohydrate count a little bit higher, or maybe leave the same, and make sure that the person is just gaining muscle mass, okay? In terms of the training, like I've discussed before, the training, I always keep a periodized training routine. So basically what's going to happen is that, some weeks the person is going to do higher repetitions, some other weeks they're going to be doing lower repetitions. Regardless of the training phase, the training is always going to be short, 45 minutes or lower in terms of training time, because the key thing that I want is to stimulate the muscle growth. I don't want to stimulate cortisol production. Keep in mind that when you start stimulating cortisol production in excess, the body is going to backfire on you, and it's going to go ahead and kill muscle tissue, and it's going to allow you to, it's not going to allow you, to go ahead and lose body fat. So that's the deal to remember. So the training, if you need a training routine, again, you can take a look at my 21-day program that I'm posting here on the description after this live is done. It's free. You can go ahead and get it from my website, and I'm posting the link. And you also get my webinar as well, plus my ebook on supplements, which supplements I think you need to be taking. So take a look at that, because it'll go ahead and give you a pretty good idea of how I periodize my routines. And that's going to be pretty helpful. And then after you're done with that, you can go ahead and try out the routines here. my books, Body Sculpting Bible for men, or the Body Sculpting Bible for the ladies. Tons of routines, as you can see. Plus, all the training philosophies and nutrition and everything else is also covered over there. But at any rate, what I want to go ahead and say is that the training, you keep the training periodized all the time, so that in that manner you keep pushing the muscles to go ahead and grow, okay? And then you push for 3 to 4 weeks, and then you go ahead and back off for 2 to 3 weeks, okay? That's how I do my periodization. Higher reps and then lower reps with a little bit more rest in between. The rest is really up to the diet, and the diet is what's going to determine if you're losing body fat and gaining muscle, or if you're exclusively gaining muscle. It's all based on just your diet, all right? That's the key thing to remember. And what I like to do, like I said, I like to make sure that on the training days I'm feeding the body a little bit more, because those are the days that your body's going to absorb nutrients the best. And then on non-training days you feed it a little bit less, okay? That's the whole ticket. But you have to be methodical. You cannot go, like, for example, people are going to a bulking up phase, as they call it, and they start going to buffets and they start eating everything and anything. What's going to happen is that once you're above 10% body fat for males and 14% body fat for females, because of the higher count of estrogen, a lot of the weight that you're going to be gaining is going to be fat gain. So what's the purpose? I mean, I've seen guys that tell me, I've gained 50 pounds on my last bulk up phase. Well, maybe only 10 of those pounds are muscle, if you're lucky. So now you have 40 pounds to lose. I mean, really and truly, is that what you really want to be doing? I mean, in my opinion, I like to create a situation where you're looking good all the time. You don't want to be just looking good like a few days out of the year, right? So that's why you got to be methodical with the diet. Don't let those myths from back in the day, trick you into believing that you have to go ahead and turn into a blimp during the bulk up phase, and then you go ahead and trim down. Because invariably, if you do that, you're going to be losing a lot of muscle tissue. I mean, to lose 40 pounds, it's a lot of weight, 40 pounds of fat. That's a lot of weight. So, I mean, it's a lot of effort to go ahead and do that. So that's not my recommendation. So just be methodical, follow your training the way that you need to follow it, follow your diet, track your results, be sure that every couple of weeks you're tracking what's happening. Like I said before, at the very minimum, you should be taking some pictures of yourself, track your weight, and track some measurements. Take some waist measurements, some, biceps, thighs, chest and back, calves. That way you see what's going on. You don't need to really know exactly what your body fat count is, but typically if you're a male at 10% body fat and if you're a female at 14%, it's easy to know because you go ahead and have some delineation for your abs, okay? So if you have that ab delineation, chances are that you're exactly like around 10% body fat for guys and 14% for females, all right? So that's the whole ticket right there when it comes to this whole bulk up stuff. So anyways, I hope that you don't think that you need to get fat in order to go ahead and gain muscle, okay? Another thing that I like to go ahead and cover here is the fact that I like to do what is called nutrition periodization. What that means is that even, let's say that I'm training somebody that is naturally skinny, and I put them on a exclusive muscle building phase, right? What I will do with that person then is that, believe it or not, I'll go ahead and I'll put them in, in a higher calorie sort of diet for quite a few weeks. But then after say like 16 weeks or so, I'll still go ahead and create a diet that is designed for some fat loss with concurrent muscle gain. The reason I want to do that is because by reducing the calories a little bit for a period of time, I'm kind of like optimizing the body for a period where I go back up and I turn up the switch on the calories, okay? So by restricting your caloric intake for a period of time, you're kind of like priming the body for more gains when you go back to a higher caloric intake. And competitive bodybuilders and physique competitors have experienced this. When they go on a diet for their show, right after their show, that's when the body is most anabolic because the body has, been deprived of calories. So it is looking forward to take all those new calories. And if you play your cards right, you'll just gain exclusive muscle tissue without gaining the fat. So that's something to remember. So I used the whole nutrition periodization to my advantage because I already know that how the body responds. I know that, you know, if you go ahead and deprive it of calories for a period of time, then it's going to be more anabolic the next period. So I play around with that. So even if I'm dealing with someone who's just looking for exclusive muscle gain, I will still add periods in their program where they're doing a slightly lower calorie base so that in that manner I prime the body for gains. So when you combine that strategy with a periodized strategy, like the one that I present on my 21-day program here that I'm linking below, you will see how the gains go. It's like pretty amazing. But again, like anything, you have to be disciplined to follow these things. I mean, you cannot run your fitness and bodybuilding program haphazardly. You need to put the discipline, you need to put the effort to follow the program. If you do it haphazardly, I'm here to tell you, don't be like me, like the first couple of years of my bodybuilding, you know, just because of lack of education, I was not doing things perfectly. And, you know, of course, I was gaining muscle because I was feeding myself enough, but I wasn't being precise about what I was feeding. So as a result, I was always like, man, how can I lose more body fat? How can I get my abs and all this stuff? If getting your abs is a priority for you, you really need to get that diet going, because the training and nutrition are kind of like the wheels of a bicycle, you know. If you have only one wheel, well, good luck at getting to the to point B of your destination, okay? It's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. So diet is critical. You need to follow the diet. You need to follow the training. Okay, don't let anybody else fool you. And I wish I could tell you there are some supplements out there that just allow you to like train less or diet less. It's just not going to happen. Supplements only work when your diet and your training are on point. If they're not on point, good luck. It's like supplements just do not make up for improper training and diet tactics. The training and the diet is everything, okay? And if you follow them properly, you will be amazed at the amount of results. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I've had clients that have gone from like obese to contest ready in a couple years. I have clients, including my wife actually, who just in 1 year, they completely gain tons of muscle, and at the end of the year, they win a bodybuilding show, you know, or a physique show, or figure. So it's pretty amazing what can be accomplished with the right diet and training program. But again, it just takes discipline to go ahead and follow these things. So to just recap with the subject of today, if you're thinking that you need to get fat in order to gain muscle, you don't, okay? You can build muscle and lose fat at the same time if you run your program correctly, and you don't need to look like a blimp in order to gain muscle. All right. So at any rate, let me go ahead and open up the floor for some questions. Let me go ahead and see what I have here. I see Jeff Oshoa saying, great advice as always, Hugo. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate that, buddy. I hope your training is going well. I've seen your videos out there, and you're looking awesome. So keep up the great work, man. You're really killing it in the gym. Let's see what else I have here. Let's see. Ben Neeson says, hello from Denmark. Your leg shoulders workout still hurts. And I did go easy. Awesome, my friend. Bent is from Denmark. He's following the programs of the Body Sculpting Bible for Men, and he's hurting. Good job, buddy. Good job. I mean, keep up the great work. You'll see that with the proper diet and training program, you're gonna be progressing over here. So I definitely look forward to seeing some progress from you and seeing some progress pictures in the next few weeks. Okay. Let's see what else we have in terms of questions. Let's see. Hey Sayed, great to see you too, my friend. Bonjour, Frank. Let's see. What else? All right. Okie dokie. Good supplements for bulking up. Okay, that's a good idea. That's a good question. Supplements for bulking up. Well, you know, first and foremost, let me add. This is super important. If you're not drinking water, like 0.66 times your body weight in ounces, that's the first thing. This is critical because most of your body is made out of water. So if you're not drinking your water in any kind of program, yeah, you're putting yourself at risk. I mean, water it's it's necessary for every single function. Definitely for muscle building and fat loss. So if you're not hydrating yourself properly, all those functions are going to be impaired. Okay, so that's the first thing I'll say about supplements. And granted, water is not a supplement. It's really like something you literally need in every single diet. But I wanted to go ahead and cover that because it's something that a lot of people kind of miss. Now, going back to the supplements, definitely a multiple vitamin, a mineral formula, okay? Calcium, magnesium, potassium, I go ahead and make sure that I take a serving of that every single day. I make sure that I take a protein powder. The protein powder that I use is the Lean Pro 8 from Labrada Nutrition. It's really good. It has a plethora of different proteins. You know, it has the fast release proteins and slow release proteins, and it has some good fats as well. So I go ahead and use that just simply because it's easier. It's more convenient to go ahead and have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then protein shakes in between. Typically, myself, I have like 4 real meals and then two shakes for the day. Okay, so definitely a protein shake. Third supplement I use is some Carlson fish oils. Super important because these essential fats help you to gain muscle and lose fat, and they also help you with your health as well, in terms of brain function, joint function, and you name it. So super critical to have good essential fats, and the essential fats help you to create hormones. So I mean, if you don't have these essential fats in your body, it'll be bad for you because your hormonal production will go down. Okay, so definitely be sure to have the essential fats. I also use coconut oil as well for my fats. So these two fats are critical. I totally recommend them. And then after that, if you still have some budget, you can go ahead and add some creatine to your program. I think creatine before the workout is just awesome. It just allows you to go ahead and do more repetitions, train harder, recover quicker in between sets. If you have a little bit more budget, then you can go ahead and add as well, maybe like a pre-workout supplement that has the creatine. Like the one that I use is the stimulant-free supercharge, again from Labrada Nutrition. I'll go ahead and post the link. Really, really good stuff because it has the creatine, it has like the beta-alanine, it has the nitric oxide boosters, it has L-tyrosine. So it has a whole bunch of stuff that really helps me to get focused. And right now they have it on special for just like $20, and then if you use my discount of Hugo10, you get an extra 10% off knocked off. So really awesome stuff, and you have like 30 full servings in that bottle. So I just take 1 scoop before my workouts. I take it typically like around 20 to 25 minutes before, and then I go ahead and hit the gym. So you know, those are the supplements that I'm using these days. I also use milk thistle. I think milk thistle is great because especially when we are taking all these supplements and consuming all this food, you know, it's important for your liver to be functioning properly. So I take some milk thistle every single day too, and that's about it. I mean, I take branched chain amino acids too, but the supercharge has the branched chain aminos. And then the other thing I take is some enzymes. Again, they're from Labrada Nutrition. It's a really cool supplement because it has some enzymes that allow you to recover quicker and to have less soreness. So that's pretty much it. But I mean, if you're low on budget, the key supplements are the multiple vitamin and mineral formula, the protein powder, and the essential fats. Okay, so you could definitely do incredible gains with just those 3 supplements that I mentioned over there. All right. Then, like I said, if your training is on point and you have a little bit more extra money in your budget, then you can go ahead and play around with, like, you know, the creatine, which is super cheap these days. If you just buy some creatine monohydrate, and or you can also add the supercharge to your program. So that's really cool. All right. So, anyways, let's see. Can you suggest some diet without supplements? Yes, sure. I mean, what I would say then, if you cannot afford a protein powder, then all your meals are going to have to be real meals, okay? Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I wish I could eat real meals all day long. It's just that it's more convenient for me to go ahead and have some protein shakes in between. But yeah, I mean, you could have a diet like that. You still will need your multiple vitamin and mineral formula, and definitely you gotta get your essential fats. So if you don't want to go ahead and buy some fish oils, then definitely get some salmon to be able to get the essential fats right there, okay? And I honestly, if you could really afford it, I would definitely recommend some coconut oil just because of its awesome properties. it just helps you with, it has like antibacterial, antiviral properties, and it also gives you some nice energy because it's a medium chain triglyceride, which means that it's a fat that when you consume it, it gets utilized for energy pretty efficiently. So really good stuff. So that's what I would go ahead and recommend. I mean, if you want to completely minimize stuff, definitely get your good fats from the salmon, okay? And then get the, you still need the multiple vitamins and minerals, okay? Anyways, that's it for today. So with that said, feel free to go ahead and shoot me a private message over my Facebook and let me know what other topics you want me to go ahead and cover, or you can go ahead and comment below. If you're looking at this video on YouTube, just comment below. Let me know what you think, other topics that you want me to cover. Share this video with your friends, share the wealth, as I say. That way we can go ahead and help everybody out there. And until next time, take care and train hard.